Water is everywhere, regardless of whether we can see it or not. It goes through a journey that I feel like most of us sleep on. Now, I'm not telling you to treat water as ethically as like your pet dog, but it might be worth listening to what the water cycle is and what it means to you. Okay, let's imagine I'm water. Where do you think I'll be? Water is usually thought of as blue water, found in visual bodies of water like lakes, oceans, and seas. Water here evaporates into water vapor when it gets warm, when the water molecules break free from its liquid state. I want to break free! Evaporation happens where water is present on the surface, like surface water, oceans, or soil. But what about evaporation for plants? Transpiration is how water from those bodies make it to the atmosphere. For example, grass releases water vapor through its leaves. Rarely, usually only in really cold environments, do sublimation happens, which is where water going from solid form, like ice and snow, straight into its gaseous form. The gaseous form of water is water vapor, and when water molecules hit a certain temperature in the atmosphere, it condenses. Condensation is the cooling of water vapor in the atmosphere, binding it together to make clouds. This is an example of condensation. Let's pretend that this is like a cold glass of water, where the temperature is cold enough for the water vapor to form and stick to the edge of this glass. There is an invisible line in the atmosphere, just like how there is the edge of this glass, this invisible line, where the temperature is cold enough for water vapor to stick together and form water droplets. That invisible line is also known as the lifting condensation level, the line where clouds start to form. When the cloud gets too heavy, the water droplets stop being airborne. It starts raining, just like this glass of water. When the condensation has been happening over a period of time, water might start to trickle down the glass. This is also called precipitation, which can also include stuff like snow and hail, depending on how the water is condensed and precipitated. But there's another way for water to reach back down to the surface. Desublimation or deposition does the opposite of sublimation, where water vapor in the atmosphere directly turns back into ice. After precipitation, when water hits the surface, it has to go somewhere. There are a few options. Well, firstly, we have surface runoff, where water travels into a water storage, whether that's a pond, a lake, a river, or any other surface body of water. The water could infiltrate into the ground, where the infiltration leads to water traveling to underground bodies of water, like pools or aquifers. The traveling or transportation of water underground is called percolation. This is specifically when water travels in between a layer of rock and a layer of soil, or what I like to call stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's not going in the video. So many times water that's invisible is simply forgotten. I certainly ignore how water cycle has shaped and should shape our water management system. Revisiting this topic as an adult was incredibly profound. Like, I complain about when it's raining because it's too inconvenient, or when it's too humid, but I also complain when it's too hot and dry. I forget that it's just the water cycle trying its best to keep cycling, trying to cycle this fine balance. Right, enough yapping methinks. I need a glass of water.